Hannah Oli Pop Rock Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Rock Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hits från Sverige och vi lyssnar till Pop Rock Radio med Jamie Roxx.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, pop art painter Jamie Roxx, and this is the big show. I'm glad you found it. Out of the thousands and thousands of podcasts out there, you decided to listen and or watch ours. We really appreciate it. To my left, is my better half, the amazing Dani at Prop Troopers on Instagram and what's the other one? Threads and all.
I'm not on Threads.
No, but they can. I mentioned you enough that in Threads that if somebody searched at Prop Troopers, it would.
I'm popular on Threads.
Yeah, so there you go. You know. Anyhow, Dani, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So there you go. Folks, I wanted to start the show off. Something we noticed right before we started here is I forgot to shave today. I'm officially becoming one of these YouTube guys and decided to grow a beard. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. No, it's not going to happen, folks. They all like to do it, but no, I've just been really, really busy. It's the holiday season. This episode we were supposed to have already recorded and
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
3
post
weeks ago?
today.
Oops.
Yeah, I pushed it back till next week, but if all goes well, I may stay up late tonight and edit it, and it'll go out tomorrow.
Late night.
Who would have thought that?
Who would have thunk it? For those who don't know, this man right here is not a night owl. He is a morning person. I am a night owl. I will sleep in until forever if given the opportunity, however.
I do not.
He does not. I'll be up into like normal hours for me. Normal working business hours for me are like till 2 a.m.
Sometimes I get up when you're going to bed.
Sometimes. So I'll be going to bed and he'll be like getting up out of bed and I'm like, no, it's time for sleep. And he says, no, it's time for awake. We're like two ships passing in the night.
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and fun fact, and I'm sure a lot of people who follow me on social media, read my blog. I do a morning blog for those who don't know. It's always on the website and on all the social media that you find me on. Highlights, at least, of it are. And is there a beeping noise in the room, or is that just me?
No, it's you.
Okay.
Mei Ling is giving herself a full bath behind us, but she's not.
If I hear Lex Luthor start talking to me, I'm going to freak out. Anyhow, no, I'm not Superman. I would probably be more on the Lex side, everybody. No, what I was going...
He does like to say that, but you're not the villain.
No, it's true. I'm not.
We look like the villain.
I try to play one on TV, but...
We try to play one on the internet, but...
Well, no, what I was going to say is for those people who know a little bit about me or follow me or whatnot, know that for several decades, I am a retired club rat. I used to go to a lot of nightclubs, hang out in a lot of nightclubs. Not because, I'm just super cool or anything, but the majority of people that were buying my art, who buy my art, that's where they were hanging out. So that's, we met in a club. So there you go. And you never know who you might meet. So there you go,
Would you really call it a club?
Be nice. They were trying. I
think it was more like a bar that had a DJ every once in a while.
That cosplayed being a club.
Yeah, it was like a bar that was cosplaying as a club.
Yeah.
So they would, but they had a bunch of pool tables. So I don't think you can classify it as a club if they have pool tables.
That's true. And if the pool table, I've been to some places where they've had a fancy pool table.
And it was a bar.
Well, yeah, it was. But no, these pool tables were, they had neon under lighting and stuff. And
still a bar.
Yeah, you're right. That reminds me, many, many years ago, a million years ago, when I was living in Las Vegas, I painted a couple. We only did a couple. We were supposed to do a whole bunch. That was the deal. But then these guys found something else to do. Anyways, I was approached by these guys to join them in the business venture. They made custom stripper poles.
How fun!
Like a box or either a square or round.
Like the platform with the pole?
Yeah, with the pole.
Huh.
And they had a business where they rented those out, and they also sold them. People were buying these. I mean, personally, in your man cave, if you have a personalized stripper pole in there, I'm just saying, that's a man cave. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
You probably don't have someone to use it.
That's very true. I hate the term man cave. It's so, it denotes no women allowed. Sorry, guys, I would much rather hang out with women sometimes than a bunch of dudes.
We're better. Sorry,
saying.
My ankle is so itchy. This is normal behavior.
I thought you just really liked me.
I mean, I do really like you, but also my ankle was itchy.
Well, anyhow, these cats had these stripper boxes, and they wanted me to paint, Jamie Roxx paintings on them. And I did on about 10 of them. But like I said, they started doing something else, and I don't know. I can't remember. I moved back to Sandy. Anyway, I had moved, and the business just kind of went a different direction. I wasn't a primary in that business. I was just the guy who was painting the boxes, but it was a pretty good gig. It was an interesting gig. On one of the old hard drives, I have pictures of those, but that was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep up. And
Sucks getting old.
Yeah, it really does. And a big chunk of, folks may not realize this, but because all you youngsters have grown up with access to smartphones and whatnot.
No.
Well, no, but you've had them a long time.
But I haven't had one my whole life. Like, I didn't get one until, I think they came out.
So you were saying smartphones?
So I didn't, smartphones didn't come out until, I was well into college.
Yeah, 2008, 2007, I believe, was when they dropped, the iPhone dropped.
So I was out of college.
Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is, in my life, a lot of my zany hijinks and whatnot was pre-smartphones and pre-digital cameras. And so a lot of that stuff, like if I post a picture of me and friends from college or high school or something like that.
It's coming from a Polaroid.
Yeah, I mean, it costs money to buy film and have it developed, and, and we were all spending money on nightclubs and going out and whatnot, various things. Packs of cigarettes and the like, back in my rebellious days. But yeah, not on film development. That was the least of my priorities at the time. So that's why I don't post a lot of pictures from when I was young. Somebody asked me the other day about that. I'm just like, we're all a product of the ages we're in. All I'm saying.
It's true.
There's been a zany time. It's right before Christmas. It's the week before Christmas. Half a week, really. And Dani just got back. She was up her girlfriends were having a get-together up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And
there was snow. I'm just a Florida girl.
That's very true.
And so I was born and raised in Florida. I have seen snow just a handful of times. So when I went up there, all I kept saying was I hope it snows. But all the people that I was with are from there. And they're like, please no. I don't want it to snow. But I was like, I want it to snow. So it did. We woke up on the last day of the trip and there were 6 inches of snow. And it was pretty snow. It was fresh. Pretty snow that when you walk in it, you get crunch. You get the good crunch. And then
cold snow.
Cold snow.
Freezes on the top. Everybody so not good. From Florida is like, yeah, we know. We're very familiar with it.
It was the good snow.
She got to brush off a car with snow brush.
Off a car.
Texted me about it. She was so excited. Everyone out there is going, what is wrong with you?
It was exciting. Honestly, I feel like me seeing snow is like someone coming here and going, all I want to do is see the beach.
It's the same deal.
I don't care. It's hot. I hate it. I just want to see snow.
When I lived in San Diego, the Marine, I don't know if they still do this, but when I lived there, for those who don't know, I lived in San Diego for about a decade, 10 years. They had the Marine Recruit Depot there. And then that's where all the fellas on the west of the Mississippi go, all the ones east go to Parris Island, North Carolina, or South Carolina, I don't know. It's Parris Island. The ones on this side of the country, the ones on that side of the country go to San Diego. And they, Marines are real tough and all that, not discounting any of that. But one of the things that was different that they did every year, and I don't know if they still do it, but they did then, is they would take a couple trucks when it first snowed up in the mountains, up there, we're talking like you get up to Hemet and places like that, you'll get some snow in the winter because of that elevation. And they would fill these trucks up with snow and bring it down and have a big snowball fight.
Where they don't get snow.
Yeah, because a lot of the people had never seen snow before.
It would never make it to Florida.
And yeah, it only lasted a couple hours of a day before it was gone.
So growing up, the closest thing that we ever got to snow was either bubbles
Mm-hmm.
or, this is going to be gross,
Cartel roughage on the beach.
No, we were kids.
Oh.
Or the Zamboni clearing, like after the Zamboni cleans the ice at the local skate rink and then it dumps it outside. That to us was snow. And that's what we got. That was our snow.
Well, it's they did have a wall of ice at SeaWorld in San Diego, and I only went there a couple times. That's a whole nother show. I don't want to get into captive intelligent marine mammals. Yeah,
it's not for us.
Doesn't wind our watches.
It's not something that we should be speaking about on here.
But
we are not that kind of show.
No. And at the time, I should probably preface this. I was in talks to do some painting work and whatnot for Anheuser-Busch, who at the time ran SeaWorld there. And so I went a couple times. And I went in their Arctic. They had like the little Arctic
they have like
thing.
Penguins and stuff.
Yeah. And they had...
I think it's similar to the one that they have in Orlando, like here.
I'm sure it probably is. But it's, it's like a Cracker Barrel. All of them are probably... They have planograms and it's all probably set up the same way.
Maybe.
Anyhow, I was there and they had this wall of ice, and I remember seeing this little toddler. She must have been, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old. And she walks up to the wall, and it was on the wall, it was just a frozen chunk of wall. And she was touching it.
Oh.
She had never, she's a little Southern California gal. She had never seen.
I would be doing the same thing as an adult, as a grown person. Yeah, I made the people that I was with come with me as I ran through the field of snow, and they are shaking outside. They're like, "Oh my God, it's freaking cold," and just me out here going, "Wee, snow!" Like,
it was so cute, folks. One of the things that she had wanted to do was go to the Elephant Trunk, the world famous Elephant Trunk flea market. We're both flea market. We love wandering through that sort of thing, looking for, on the hunt for treasures. Or something
love old things.
We can modify into something cool and unique, We're both, Danny's more of a maker than I am, but I definitely have that blood in my veins as well. But she wanted to go, and I get it, because that is a big, huge attraction. No, I've only read about it and seen it on the TV.
We saw it on that show. What was that show called? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But we were looking online, and I saw it online, and we were all like, oh, we should go.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's definitely a big deal.
We didn't go.
Of course, she's not used to being up north, folks. It closed for the season, reason freezing. And yeah, so nobody's going to stop. Yeah. Danny loves doing her artesian markets. Do not take this in any way.
I would have done it. I would have been out there.
She would have been out there. But when she does it, and when it starts to get a little warm, the seasonal changeover.
No for me.
I hear her.
We don't go during the summer. We don't do markets in the summer.
No, but when you learned that lesson, I definitely heard the commentary.
The first year, a couple of years ago, we were absolutely like out
so
of our gourd. We were No. Well, also, like, I mean, I'm sure it's similar, but like the reverse. So, like,
That's what I was going to say.
Here, it gets super, super hot. You don't know what the weather is going to be. Is it going to rain? Probably, but you don't know. Like, you just don't know. It's going to be. Oh God! You're trying to kill me now.
Sorry.
It's like it's hot. It's humid. It's going to rain. It's just the literal worst.
And it's in any subtropical environment. If you've ever been to New Orleans, it's the same thing.
Oh God, so bad.
It's the same playlist.
So it's the same up north where it's like it's cold. It's probably gonna snow. It's the same but different climates.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say that in any subtropical environment, if you're not from it, you don't realize this. You're like, well, you're bitching about it raining. That'll cool everything down. No, it's like a sauna when you pour the water on the stones. It just makes it.
It makes it more humid, and then you feel like you're breathing underwater.
Yeah, it's terrible, and it's just part of where we happen to live.
Pretend that you like it. Shh,
Mei-Ling, it's okay.
She doesn't like it when we touch.
She gets jealous.
She's a jealous girl.
Mei-Ling, settle down. Your mom is allowed to be in my space.
Oh my God, I just realized.
Or maybe she's saying, hey, don't be in my mama's space.
I look like Tiffany from, what is that, Bride Chucky?
Oh, not really. No, you're okay. You're not.
It's the lipstick and the eyeshadow.
You're 6'1". You're not 32 inches. You know what I mean?
Well, she wasn't a doll the whole time.
Oh, she wasn't?
No, she was a human.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's played by the one with the voice.
Yeah.
Very, high-pitched. Oh, she was a human in part of it.
I liked that actress. I can't remember
her
name. It was a fantastic Richard Dreyfuss money, and I think it was, or movie money. It was called On the Money or something about money, and he was a gambler, horse race guy, and he was just a loser. He had spent his life picking the wrong horse.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has a day where his luck changes, and every horse he picks wins. Oh. And he goes, because the racetrack, like life, is categorized in different levels of wealth. And, next thing you know, he's up in the Players Club, and the drinks aren't in plastic cups. And anyway, she played a gal that was a girlfriend to one of the rich guys in the Players Club. Mm. She kind of trades up, or not, doesn't trade up because he's got a wife, but just starts hanging out with him because he's hot to trot. That was the name of the film, Hot to Trot. If you've ever seen it, if you're flipping through Netflix or whatever it may be on, I don't know where it is. I haven't seen that movie in years. It's a fun, good, fun movie. I don't want to say wholesome. We are talking, it's set in a racetrack, but
it's nothing wholesome about that.
No, it really isn't. But it's a day. If you've ever been to Vegas or anywhere and you see somebody having one of those days where they're winning and it just makes you feel good, you're like,
it's a feel-good movie.
Yeah, it's
not
a feel-good
movie, but like a feel-good.
Yeah. Okay. You like it when somebody's winning. At least I like to see that. Yeah. Somebody other than the casino. Sorry, casinos, but you win all the time. It's nice to see a normal person winning. Yeah, weird world right now. Normal people and Goliath corporations, and everybody's been. I never saw it coming. I mean, obviously, of course, I'm not talking the details and such, but yeah, weird world. It's a weird world, and people's reaction to it, a weird, unexpected.
I'm not trying to get canceled on YouTube.
Yeah, me either.
They're going to.
We certainly don't condone any of the things that happen. My advice for people in the news and media: read the room. That's all I'm saying.
We don't not condone
Yeah. Murder is murder.
It's
not a good thing.
murder.
It's in the top 10 things of not to do. Not that we subscribe to this
I
or
was just
anything,
gonna say, well,
but
good thing we're not Catholic. So
you know, it's just, but it's. I think in all spiritual faiths, it's pretty much no. You know, for the most part.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
Karma's a bitch.
that's there you go. Our top story at 11 o'clock tonight. Karma's a bitch.
Headlines. Karma's a bitch.
You know.
Or like, what was that? What was that play? Was it Chicago? He had it coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming.
The Cell Block Tango.
Yes, the Cell Block Tango.
Fantastic track. That's
He
another
only
good
had
movie.
himself to blame.
You know, the great. I have a Chicago story that isn't based in Chicago. It's based in Indianapolis, Indiana, of all places. I was in town. I was doing some stuff, and this was way back in the day. Right after the movie Chicago came out. So what was that? Mid 90s, something like that, maybe early 2000. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I had a friend, and I took her to this. What, cold?
I had a chill. I don't know. I made a freaking wind tunnel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me.
Look at my hair is like blowing
There.
in the wind. It was beautiful.
How was that?
A masterpiece.
Is that better?
Yes.
What was I saying? Oh, I took a friend to this thing she wanted to go real bad called Dinner and a Movie. It was a new business that had opened up in Indianapolis back in the day. And basically what it was a second-run movie theater. And what that means is when a movie plays at the normal theaters and, you know, ticket sales begin to get a little light, there's not as many people in the seats, they send it to a second-run movie theater. And instead of $7 to get in, it's $4 to get in, whatever it is. You know,
You have not been to a movie in a long time, have you?
No. But no need to. I get all the all the hookups and streaming and all. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
So it's like half price.
Yeah, or maybe it's discounted. And how they make up for that, these people had this idea, is they said, we'll get these movies, second run. So meaning they don't have to shell out as much to show those movies in their establishment. There's a whole business to all that. A lot of people don't realize how a movie theater works. But anyway, they get that. And then they decided to put out cocktail tables and everything. And you can order dinner and have dinner. And it's nothing pinky out fancy. It, restaurant hamburgers and that kind of fare. Chicken wings, that kind of stuff. And pretty much. But anyway, you eat your chicken wings or whatever, or hamburger, and you can watch the film on the big screen TV and, with your date. And so we went, and the movie we saw was Chicago. So that's how long ago this was. It was hitting. It hadn't just hit the main theater. It had already been to the main theaters. It was at the second run theater level. And the cool thing, and everybody's like, yes, so what? No, hear me out. This was the genius of the moment. Sometimes you find yourself in a moment. You're like, man, this is cool. I'm glad I'm in this moment. And I was. It was very cool. We were sitting there. I got my, and they always name the hamburger after, the Charlie Chaplin burger.
Right.
I don't know if Charlie Chaplin ever ate a hamburger. Doesn't matter. I'm sitting there. I'm eating it, and I'm watching the movie. And how they shot that movie, for those who don't know, is they shot not all the scenes, but a lot of the scenes like you're in an audience watching a stage production. So we're all sitting there at these cocktail tables, and they go up, and then the screen happens, and on the screen are a bunch of cocktail tables, and like this, it was like you were in the movie, and it wasn't. Nobody planned that. It just happened to be that particular movie we saw. But it was a neat moment. I'm like, oh, this is like custom made for this place. And I don't know if that place is still in business. I hope they are, and I hope they're, making $1 million. That's all I'm saying. But it was an interesting. I think it was a good idea. I don't see why a lot of places don't do that, but
I don't know. I think it probably at this point to live on this planet is really expensive. So it's probably like just to keep the lights on and the electric bill for that place like is probably it's such a large facility
Yeah,
that
you're
the
right.
space rent is probably insane.
And it's tall, so you got a lot of
Yes.
empty space that you're paying for that is not
Yeah.
being utilized to make any money.
Yeah.
I get it.
And especially just like what you said earlier, is like you don't have to go to the movies because you have all the movies. Like I don't think that is something that is super important.
Well, like in our life, everybody thinks we're these high-end jet setters and whatnot. We don't try to front that. I don't know what the terminology is that the kids are using today. We don't portray that, but people.
I am out and about.
Yeah, you go out more than I do,
but I'm not fancy.
No.
I'm flying Spirit.
But a lot of our entertainment, we can't. What I was going to say is we can't be the only ones that are like this. A lot of our entertainment is television. We do have our shows. We'll sit and watch 3 episodes of some show we're watching. Have dinner and
it's like the decompressed time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like our time together. Like
yeah,
because instead of going out every night or like going to dinner together, like quality time is important in relationships, and for us, our quality time is like hanging out and like watching a TV show together, so that we can kind of like talk about the TV show that we watched. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so quality
time always leads to other conversations.
Quality time looks different to other people, but like for us, that's quality time. Like sometimes, I'm just kidding. It's not. I was gonna say sometimes it's a movie, but like I don't have the attention span for a movie.
No, and
I can't do it.
And some movies I don't either. The great thing about a show
is there's a break.
Is there breaks?
There's breaks.
And it's. Yeah, you can get sucked in and binge watch and whatnot.
But there's still a break.
There's still a break. You can say, I'm ready for bed, or I want to watch something or whatever, I want to do something else. And you can take it up later, And yeah, technically you can do that with anything, with a movie or something. But it's when you're in the zone of the action of what you're watching, you kind of don't want to do that. Danny's taught me that. I used to be, I could turn a movie off 20 minutes into it and wait a week and come back.
No, I'll forget what happened.
Yeah, she's like, no.
I have too many other things rolling around in here that like, if I have to pause it or if I have to like come back to it, even the next day, I'm not remembering what happened.
No.
That's one of my big like things with TV shows. Like when you finish a season and then you have to wait until the next year for the season like 2 to come out. I don't remember what happened in the first season. I don't remember what happened in any of those episodes.
Absolutely.
So you have to rewatch it.
Absolutely. We're that way with Star Trek right now.
We haven't even started it because I don't know what's happening.
No, the new seasons will be dropping.
No, but I think I missed a season anyway.
I don't think you did. I think we're all ready to go. But anyway, that's what we do for enjoyment. It's better on the budget. It's better. We do that. We're like anything. We're very conscious of how we spend money and what we spend money on and doing. Just like anybody, just like you guys out there, I'm sure the same way. But yeah, it's much cheaper to make a meal at home than it is paying for ambiance.
Yes.
We have,
especially because we end up going to a restaurant, we sit there in silence and listen to everyone else speaking anyway. So it's pretty much the same as going to watch TV at home. True. There's the same amount of drama on your TV show that there is at the restaurant.
It depends on the restaurant, but we do that with it. Did we tell this story already? I don't think we did.
I feel like we probably did.
I don't know. If not, it bears repeating because it's funny. There's a internationally known pancake house up the street from us. And hey, they're not writing us a check, so,
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
But we would be.
Yeah. If they're itching to to write a check,
we'll take it.
Absolutely. And I'll eat a hot stack every episode if they're sponsoring that.
Of pancakes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wouldn't.
I would.
I would. Happily.
Love pancakes.
I'm not a breakfast person.
Yeah, it's true. You're not. Unfortunately. That's my favorite. When I was a little kid, I don't know if any of your guys' parents ever did this.
My parents still did it, and I still was unhappy.
My father, when I was a little kid, there were certain things. Pizza was one. Mm-hmm. If it was pizza night, baby. Pizza night. The Holy Grail, because it didn't happen often, was taco night. If tacos were happening for dinner, that was fantastic. And probably equally exciting in our home was breakfast for dinner. Oh my God, it's just crazy talk. You know what? For dinner time, breakfast, insane. But man, that just.
That was it. That was the winner.
Oh, I am telling you, that was good stuff.
I've got a very short list of breakfast foods I eat.
I've got to make you my father used to make these chocolate gravy over. It was like biscuits and gravy, but not.
It just sounds bad.
Oh, it's not. It's not. It's good.
I'm a picky eater, but I'm not a picky eater at the same time. Like, I'll eat a gas station hot dog every day of the week.
People are like, this is the gal that was in the hospital, right? Getting part of her intestine removed.
Don't perceive me. Listen, I'll eat a gas station hot dog.
Her favorite isn't gas station hot dogs. Her favorite are a Costco hot dog.
We love a Costco hot dog.
And we're not sponsored by them either, but we would be. We are both such fans of Costco and how they treat their employees and their customers that $1.50 and you get a drink with it? Come on.
It's a good hot dog. Yeah, so like I will eat a hot dog. It doesn't matter where it's from. Gas station hot dog doesn't matter. I would eat a hot dog every single day of the week. But you put in front of me like an omelet, it's a no for me. You put in front of me a stack of pancakes, it's a no for me. Unless the pancakes don't have syrup.
I make pancakes, and she's like, and sometimes she asks me, she's like, hey, can you make some pancakes? There's certain things like any guy, I'm good at. A lot of things I'm not, cooking wise.
But pancakes only with butter. No syrup. I hate syrup.
Yeah, she hates syrup. How weird is that? But it means it's more for me, so I'm not complaining. I'm pretty good at grilled cheese, too.
You are so good at grilled cheese. That sounds good.
Maybe we'll do it. I'm telling you, you got a couple pieces of that Texas toast in there still.
That's pretty much grilled cheese on its own. It's like open-faced grilled cheese.
That's true. Anywho, I'm also, you would not know this because you don't like breakfast foods, but I'm equally as good at French toast. I can blow your mind with French toast. And the secret, ladies and gentlemen out there, I want to try this next time you're making French toast. Get you some Captain Crunch cereal. It can be store brand, doesn't matter. But I think the original Captain Crunch is the best.
But it's eggy.
Yeah, and well, you put the Captain Crunch in a Ziploc bag and get out your rolling pin.
You let your week's worth of anger.
Yeah, and you make, you break it down, and then you use that in your batter for the French toast. Really, really good.
I'll tear up a bagel.
Yeah, you like bagels.
I love a bagel. I've never met a bagel I didn't like. I do love a bagel.
And you like all the weird flavors. I'm just a standard. It's like coffee. I like standard.
I do. I like a scallion cream cheese, a veggie cream. Ooh, that's so good. Like a veggie cream cheese with a slice of tomato lightly salted. Oh, that's so good.
You like lox too, don't you?
No.
Oh, no, you're not a lox.
I don't eat fish unless it's sushi, which is also weird. Or canned tuna fish, which is disgusting. But that's it. That's the fish eating that I do.
That's very true. You prefer your tuna in
a can.
Is it in the can? I thought you like the little pack.
They're the same.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, either like the pack or a can. But if it's like fresh tuna, I don't want it unless it's sushi.
Gotcha. Yeah, and everybody has different tastes and different things, and there's nothing wrong with any of it. But find what you like, and enjoy it. I say I like good food. I like to eat things that I like.
How do you feel about scrapple?
We had that when we were visiting my in-laws, your mom and dad's relatives up in, I forget what.
And by we, I mean you mean you.
Yeah, you did not eat it. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It was like I had a lot of Hawaiian friends in Southern California. I've never been to Hawaii. It's one of the places I've never been, which is
Spam,
weird.
right?
Yeah, they're really into Spam, and it kind of had a similar taste to a fried Spam to me. Yeah, it was okay. It keep you alive. No, it was better than that, but it just wasn't anything that.
You wouldn't go out of your way.
No, it wasn't my particular.
I know people who are from like up north. Like, what is that, a New England thing, right?
Well, I don't think it's technically New England. I think it's those. I forget what they're called. There's a term that I can't remember right now. But Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania. No, New England's further north. That's Connecticut.
I wasn't good at geography.
Vermont.
Well, that whole area is very big into Scrapple. That's like their thing. So my dad grew up like in Jersey. So every chance he gets, if he sees Scrapple, he's getting Scrapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend Regina's from up there. Is she a Scrapple?
She likes Scrapple.
Yeah. And people do, people like their regional, and sometimes you'll discover something that's regional from, indicative of one area, and you discover it, and you're like, man, somebody's thinking that is all right. And Dani, there's an example of that. She discovered the Cincinnati chili.
Yes.
Which is,
Skyline chili.
Yeah, a hot dog chili over.
Because
those who don't know,
she likes a hot dog too.
yeah, and they put it over
pasta,
plate of spaghetti.
Yes.
She can't get enough of it. I personally,
oh my God, it's so good.
think it's weird as anything,
it's
and
so good.
It's not
and then
my
you can
cup
get
of
it
tea.
with onion. So you can get it. It's pasta, and you can do it 3-way, 4-way, 5-way.
So you can
have it with cheese, with beans, with onion. Ooh. I love it.
They love
Can't
it.
Get enough.
They love it in Ohio.
Extra cheese.
It's a weird thing. And you know what? And even where I grew up, Metro Detroit, you'll never see it. It'll never be offered anywhere. It's just not a thing. And
is that like those spice cookies?
And that's
that I like?
only 7 hours away or something like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's the same thing.
We went this last trip, we went from Philadelphia to Connecticut.
So you went through several
states.
Cultural zones.
Yes. And so there's a specific brand of spice cookies that I like that you can only get in like Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, like that area. But they don't have them in Connecticut.
The orange box. I forget the name.
Orange box. Oh my God, they're my favorite.
And then somebody weird will give you. They have a yellow box too. It's lemon.
They're lemon. They're so good. I was looking for them, but I think they're only for summer.
Oh, that makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
They're so good.
It's more spicy than a ginger snap cookie,
and like more snappy.
Yeah,
right?
And more snappy. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. That's a nice. And you, like I said, you discover. Of course, you discover things where you grew up. Where you cut your teeth and stuff. But try the local stuff, man. As you travel around, ladies and gentlemen, you might just discover something that you've been missing your whole life. That is all right. Dynamite on a Saturday night. It's good stuff.
Do we have in Florida a specialty?
Homeless people's faces.
Stop!
I'm kidding. Don't send me emails, people. Plus, that's not a good joke because
it's outdated now.
It's outdated. What was that, 15 years ago or something? No, it was right when I moved to Florida. No, maybe it was before I moved to Florida. Yeah, it probably is more now that you mention it. I'm trying to think. Florida. I had
Conch
alligators. Yeah, conch fritters or
Key lime pie.
key lime pie is a good
Key
big
lime
one.
pie.
People are like, what are you talking about? We have you think you've had key lime pie until you.
You have not had key lime pie.
It's different and it's real good.
I love it.
And some stuff you think's just weird. If you go out like west, New Mexico or stuff, I remember the first time I ever had their green chili, a bowl of green chili. Everybody's like, green chili? What? I was like that. And then I had it, and I'm like, somebody was thinking. Somebody was thinking. Good
You
stuff.
have like New England clam chowder.
Mhm. Which is different. If you have it in actually New England, it tastes a lot better.
So I've been told. For a non-seafood eater, I do like New England clam chowder.
And, well, yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, like I said, try stuff out where you go, or you visit someplace or something. People have a tendency to go, especially the more foreign the environment is, they look for something familiar, tried and true. And, it always amazed me. I remember being in Tokyo, Japan. I would notice tourists, and I would think to myself, well, I don't want to hang out with those folks, But they'd be going to McDonald's. And I get it, the menus are different.
It's different. Maybe they're going for the experience of going and tasting different things that
that's true.
They don't have on the menu here.
That's true. I just like to try the local stuff. Is just to find it interesting,
Except for that, you'll try things, but you do have a more simple palate. You're not really a foodie.
I am not. We have family members, we have friends, and everything that are.
Yes.
That are. Reminds me of that Portlandia skit we watched the other day.
Oh, no, you keep
the artesian movie food.
Not the artesian movie food.
Here's your arugula salad. This gal at the movie theater.
It's arugula popcorn, wasn't it?
No, that was Tuscan popcorn.
Tuscan popcorn.
They served her in a newspaper.
I want popcorn with lots of butter in it. Like, do not come at me with fancy popcorn.
Yeah, we have friends and family that are incredible foodies. And you know what? Honestly, you try some of their crazy stuff, which sounds horrible to you at first, and then you try it and you're like, this is pretty good.
And sometimes you try it and you go, please don't ever make that again.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
I love your sister Winnie, but
it was one time.
Balsamic
she'll never ever live it down from Jamie. She was trying one thing. She even said out loud before we tasted it, she goes, this is probably going to be bad. I think I got the ratios off. And it was bad. But she knew already that it was going to be bad. But he'll never let her live that down.
But you know it's coming when you're talking to somebody. And if they say that, there's certain keywords. It's like talking to a gay person that wants to tell you they're gay, and then they're kind of trying to test the water out a little bit before they come out of the closet to you.
They want to make sure it's safe.
Right. And I get it. Foodies are the very same way, though. There's certain key phrases. Well, I happen to have a more savory palate than a sweet palate. And you're like, oh, God, here we go. What are we going to eat now?
No, that doesn't have anything to do with any of it. I have a savory palate.
Yeah, but I hear that, and I know that it's going to be some weird thing.
I have a more savory palate.
And the truth of the matter is, another thing that turns me off about a lot of highfalutin foods is portion size. I'm a big guy. I like to eat. I purposely chose a career where my looks don't matter, just my skill level. So I don't really care, you know what I mean, about portion size. If something's good, I want it, and I want a lot of it. Nachos are a good example of that. Nobody wants to have an order of nachos with 3 chips in it. That just
that is disappointing.
Pisses you off.
That is disappointing.
Puts a taste in your mouth. And a lot of fancy highfalutin food are like that. Like when I went to Paris for the first time, they bring you out, and it's expensive, and they bring you out this little plate that looks like a piece of modern art, something Seurat would paint. And you're like, 10 times this amount, please, and I will be full. I was in a restaurant one time. This is a very true story. It's happened. In that particular trip, and I was at this restaurant, and this happened. They brought out this little fancy foodie portion plate, 3 cubes. It's about the same amount of food mass-wise as like 4 or 5 chiclets. Nobody was much impressed. I wasn't. Yeah, and then the door swung to the kitchen, and the chef was in there. And he had a hat and everything, white. It wasn't. I don't know, but he was about my size, and he was looking out, and I don't know if it was my hair or whatever, but he was looking out to see, I guess my reaction to it, and I guess he caught this look of. I didn't bitch. I'm not a Karen. I didn't, or whatever.
You deflated.
I kind of did. I was very disappointed in this artsy portion size. And he goes, oh! And he comes out, takes me in the kitchen, and he didn't speak very good English. I didn't speak very good French, but we worked it out that I was going to have dinner with him, sharing his dinner. And we had some sort of goulash, something that was like a hamburger helper thing almost. It had egg noodles in it, but it had, some sort of green vegetable cut up over top of it. So it was fancy. And we just, bonded over gluttony. It was fantastic. And I kept in touch with that guy for a long time, became friends with him. But again, if you think speaking to somebody who doesn't speak your language in person is hard, in email is even harder.
Because then I have to know how to spell.
Yeah, exactly.
In a different language.
And then you're like, ooh, this email took me 4 hours to read. What? And you're trying to.
I don't know what's happening.
That reminds me of a current story that I have. Not going to Paris or anything. We have some good friends of ours, and one of them is younger. And as an old man, I too was caught up in the whole jokes of Generation Alpha and the Riz and all their slang and everything that they say.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I found somebody had posted on one of the Instagram or something, a slang to English conversion sheet, you know what I mean? So I wrote her a little kind of joke DM, not even an email, a DM.
But she's a millennial.
Well, I didn't know, but she looks and acts like she's a kid. But she's very pretty and very glamorous and whatnot. But I'm just saying, she looks like she's young. And she dresses very avant-garde, and Anyway, it doesn't matter. I wrote her this thing, and I spent time on it. It must have taken me 45 minutes to an hour to write this little funny joke thing, and using all this slang. And I'm like, I'll get her now. It was just a stupid friends type joke thing. So I sent it to her, but the joke was on me because she responded in the Gen Alpha slang in like a minute and a half. And I'm like, and it took me another 45 minutes to
decode it.
I'm like, check and mate, you win. I'm an old man. I don't need to be wading in this particular water.
That's what happens. You get old and things happen, and then you just have to admit defeat.
It's very true. There was a show we watched years ago called Boardwalk Empire, which was, I thought, very well written. I love that show.
I love Boardwalk Empire.
Set during Prohibition in
so good.
Jersey, Atlantic City. And they got a lot of, from my understanding of things I've read from that period, just different things, they got a lot of the slang correct in that. And they had a slang that was as foreign and different as the Gen Alpha slang is. You know what I mean? And so it isn't like, these young kids are just every time period
has our own slang.
Yeah, and it's as crazy as any other period. It's just, I'm sure if you had a time machine, if the TARDIS appeared and whisked us to ancient Rome, they would have their version of slang. You know what I mean? Just to, every time period.
To piss off the elders.
Yeah. Music's the same way. There's people that were, how is this Beethoven guy doing? Why isn't he using a harpsichord? This is just
Not the
decadent.
harpsichord.
Yeah, where's the nuance? People, and the thing is, I think music-wise, speaking on that, is I tell young people this all the time. Like good music, listen to good music if you can, because your favorite type of music that will stick with you your entire life is whatever's on the first time you kiss a girl. That is going to be your barometer that you always come back to.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe for you. Maybe it's different for women.
Yeah, it might be a guy thing. And it's all... and you won't get to the extreme like I know people that are very genre specific and, anything made it past blah, blah, blah just sucks. It's just the worst, Yeah, no. I was just watching a little... I don't want to say it because I don't want you getting mad at me.
What have you done?
What are they called on Facebook? They're called Reels, right? And Instagram is Reels.
Yes.
YouTube, they're Shorts.
Yes.
Okay, I was watching a short. It was on YouTube. And it had, roughly one of the coolest guys of my particular generation, Mr. Henry Rollins. 3 cheers to Henry. He's awesome. I've never heard him say something I disagreed with. And he was, until today, I was watching this short, and he was bitching about modern. He goes, there's no love in it. There's no, it all sounds like it's made in a computer and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Henry, you're sounding like an old man. Of course it sounds like it's made in a computer, because it probably is. And the people who are making it have spent their entire life with the computer attached to it, not to their ear necessarily, but...
It's a different kind of art.
Yeah, the art has changed.
Yeah.
And
the skill has changed.
Exactly.
So instead of going from playing a physical instrument or singing a physical song, you're moving more into the technical aspect of it. Like, you're moving into the technology of it.
Absolutely. I was talking to a rap friend of mine, a hip-hop friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about how you don't see a lot of artists who utilize hip-hop and whatnot in their repertoire using mixing, spinning records, spinning vinyl. And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's going to go the way of the horse whip, the horse and buggy.
It's kind of coming back again.
I think it might as a niche thing, but I think, because that was really paramount to the base of that type of music when it was going on, because sampling wasn't where it is today, and you can do all that in a program on your phone, on a PC, whatever. You don't have to have that skill level. And the only reason those guys didn't do it on a computer then is because that wasn't available. That was the only way to get that particular, we're going to sample this guitar riff, Jam Master Jay or somebody's going to sample that. Well, of course he's going to use the record because that's the only way he had access to that.
Yeah.
But now, you have access to all music and you can run it through a computer and break down the part you want to sample and say, and we want to speed that up, or maybe let's reverse this sample or do all this weird stuff. Yeah, so Henry, I respect you tons and everything, but I think you're off base on that because, the skill set has changed. You know what I mean? You're absolutely 100% right.
Well, I think also trends change, but trends also recycle.
Mm-hmm.
So I do see like scratching and like physical DJing coming back in like clubs and events and stuff like that, like more in-person events, because I think that's like the trend is starting to recycle again. Like a bell-bottom jean recycles, like spandex shorts recycle, like any kind of like fashion trend will recycle itself. I feel like social trends and like music trends will also kind of try to recycle. It was like a while ago with Harry Styles and everything was sounding very 70s.
You had a whole, the Italiano disco scene in electronic music was happening then. You had all this, 70s inspired.
And like all the, for instance, like trends are coming back. I have a shag haircut. Like all of those trends are resurfacing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It happens. The singer, what was that gal when she she had that song. Man, you played that song a lot in the car. It was the gal, and it was she was in love with some other gal, and she could treat the gal better than her, and something about a sweater.
I didn't play that all the time.
No, but it was on the radio station.
You were songs.
Oh, well, I don't know.
But yeah, it was on the radio all the time. I didn't play it, but it was always on popular radio, and I can't remember what it was.
But it was very indicative to me, and not from the subject or anything like that, just the style of music that it was done and how she was delivering that, or whomever it was. It really harkened to that singer-songwriter 70s Joni Mitchell kind of era of music that I hadn't heard in a minute, you know. And you're right about trends. They definitely do. And yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People are going to like what they like, and that's cool, you know. And people are going to dislike what they like, and that's cool, you know.
Yeah.
You
never want to.
We all know what's right, you know, or what's good.
You don't want to yuck someone's yum. If they're into it, you don't want to yuck it, because you would want.
That's a good. I'm gonna.
I stole it from someone else.
Oh well, I'm re-stealing it as well. That's a good. Yeah, folks, don't yuck anyone's yum. You know, that sounds kind of a little fey when I say it. I don't think I'm gonna steal that, but when I said it sounded good in my head, and then I said it out loud, and I'm like,
oh no.
Sound a little like my drawers are made of silk there.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If they want to be silk, they can be silk.
I certainly don't want to yuck somebody's yum.
See?
You're right. Absolutely. You know, that reminds me, you know, we were talking about Star Trek earlier. Somebody online I really PO'd off a lot of a certain crowd of people that I happen to, particular pond I happen to swim in occasionally are these Star Trek fans. And, you know, they're all my age, so they're bitching about the new Star Trek stuff, of course. You know, it's woke and blah, blah, you know, and all this stuff. Yeah, you know. And I'm like, you know, it's not like the classic Star Trek. I'm like, you don't think classic Star Trek was woke for its time? Are you kidding me? I say, you know, and they're like, I just don't like seeing, you know, these two guys kissing or holding hands or whatever, and these two guys, whatever.
Then don't watch it.
Yeah, exactly. But I pointed out to them, I said, well, now, I said, hold on now. Now, all I'm going to say, I'm not trying to convince you to change your point of view or anything, but all I'm going to tell you is now you know how your father and grandfather felt when they saw Kirk and Tara kiss, the first interracial kiss on television. People lost their shit, and now you have now become those people.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of the Star Trek universe
is to be woke.
Yeah, and accepting and strange. We're exploring strange new worlds and planets. And you ever notice they went to all these planets, and even in the classic Star Trek, when nobody had an idea, the planet they visited would have some twisted, well, the Nazis are in charge here. Or over here, ancient Rome is still going, and they're in charge. But it's the most, you know, they run the whole show on the planet. But it's never a good thing. You know what I mean? When those old ideologies flourish and are in charge, yeah, it's never like, yeah, but everybody's educated, well fed, and you know, no. It's Nazism, so it ain't gonna end well for a lot of people.
And as it should.
Yeah, there's no utopia in any of that, and that was the whole point that Star Trek was making with those episodes, you know. Anyway, I think that's the theme of this episode. Don't yuck someone's yum. I like that.
Don't yuck it.
Straight from Dani. So I hope everybody out there is having a good festive holiday season and whatnot. I have yet to see on any social media, and my spider web is on a lot of social media streams. Also, I'm now on Blue Sky. The links are all on my website. You can find me there. But I'm liking.
Don't put them in the link.
Yeah. Below. And I like Blue Sky way better than the old X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, that just I ended that a year ago just because.
I don't like it.
No, too many Nazis on it.
Not
it
the
wasn't a good
Nazis.
thing.
See, it doesn't end well.
It doesn't end well. I took my marbles and went to a different part.
Goodbye, marbles.
I don't like being around that shit. I don't want that stink on me. I'm running a business. A couple of them. But anyway, man, I had a point and I lost it. I can't remember what I was.
Don't yuck someone's yum. You're on streaming platforms.
Oh yeah, I have yet to see on any of the streaming platforms. I mentioned it as kind of a joke about people bitching about Xmas and Christmas, and you're taking the Christ out of Christmas. What I haven't seen is in not one instance, maybe this will be the first, of anybody bitching about anybody saying the war on Christmas, and you can't say Merry Christmas and blah blah blah, and everybody's saying Happy Holidays. I haven't seen anybody bitching about that for the first time in 10 years, a decade. So, maybe it's slow evolution, social evolution of.
Maybe the witches are coming back.
Maybe it's just some nonsense that got ejected out of the zeitgeist. I hope so, because it's a dumb thing. The less dumb things we have, I think, as a society is better. That's my opinion.
I'm just going to start wishing people Happy Yule.
That's what you got to do.
Happy Yule.
Hey, we talked about my painting and art and all this and that a little bit, but we have to mention Dani also has a business that she's done for 5 years now, something like that, something crazy.
4, yeah.
4. They have a web shop. Her and her business partner Travis have a web shop called Spectral Moon. Links below. And tell them what you guys do, what you sell, and
so we have handmade metaphysical pieces. We sell crystals. We sell handmade curated bracelets. All of them are crystals. What else do we sell? I don't know. I'm on the spot now. I don't know.
Cool stuff.
So bad at that.
They do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
candles
and crystals, metaphysical. We don't really do candles. Candles are not us. But we do.
I thought you made those things for the candles to go in. Or was those just gifts, private gifts? Or
oh, chime candle holders. We don't sell the candles. You know what? That's a lie. We do sell candles, but they're not scented candles. They're not pretty candles. They're like spell candles.
Gotcha.
So like for the pagans and the witches in your life. We have spell candles. We have chime candle holders that are handmade by me. But we have crystal charging plates that you can throw your jewelry on at the end of the night, and that'll recharge all of your crystal jewelry. We have bracelets, necklaces, earrings. We have metaphysical tools. I just started making.
I didn't know if I could mention it or not.
You can now because
this was the coolest thing ever,
the gifts
folks.
have been given, so they already know. I just started making tarot bag travel pouches. So they're double-sided out of fabric.
Yeah, you
and
can
they
reverse it.
Wrap around and you can travel with your tarot deck. So if you travel a lot or if you don't want to keep your tarot deck in its original box, you want to put it in something different and cool. We have those now also. They are not on the website because they're all different. But you can shoot us a message on Instagram, or you can see them on. Actually, I haven't even posted them yet.
Maybe we'll make a video or something where you can show it because it's really
neat.
Yeah,
put it on Instagram.
Yeah, and then I'll edit it or whatever
into here,
and then you can put it on your site or whatever.
Yeah,
but they're cool, folks. It's a little pouch.
It's a little pouch,
and then she has a ribbon or.
Yeah, it's like a ribbon. So it's a little pouch. It looks almost like a little pouch. A little bit bigger, so it can fit like a normal deck of cards in it too. Mm-hmm. So if you're not like a metaphysical person, you can always put like a regular deck of cards in it. If you want to travel with cards, you play Uno, put your Uno deck in there.
Absolutely,
but whatever cards you want in there. What do you get it?
Right here behind you. For those who don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I am an old man.
He has a deck of cards.
I do not have an Uno deck. And yeah, because I like to play solitaire occasionally. It keeps me entertained. I know they're like, Jamie, every computer has
You can play it
solitaire
on the computer. He's not going to do that.
I'm an old man.
He's not going to do it.
I have
He has a deck of cards. It's
pirate
pirates.
deck of cards. And look, the guy's...
Art.
He's
got the same bandana. Get out of here. So you can put your deck of cards in there. You can put any deck of cards. Famous. You can put your tarot deck in there. If you don't have any of those things and you want one because you would like to support a small business, you can put your crystals in there. You can put business cards in there. Make a really cute business card pouch. But on the flap that folds over that keeps it closed, it has a ribbon, and the ribbon wraps around, and so you just loop it through, and it's got a little crystal on the end of it. They're very cute, if I do say so myself. So
I'm not well traveled in that world. I mean, that's your business, and you know much more about that kind of stuff than I do. Folks, I'll just say this. I've never seen one. I thought it was neat as hell. I just thought it was very cool. She showed me she was making her Christmas gifts for her friends and whatnot, and these were some of them. Or holiday gifts, not Christmas gifts.
Yule gifts.
Yule gifts, there you go. Whatever it's called. But I just thought they were cool. And, it's, that's another trend that I've seen a rise in. And I don't know if it's because inflation or anything like that, or if it's just a change. A lot of people doing exactly what you said. They're supporting a small business.
Support a small business, not consumerism.
Yeah.
Support your friends.
That is very in vogue and a trend I hope
Support
continues.
your friends, support your friends' friends. Support small businesses because we are trying to offset consumerism. And also, you're going to find a lot cooler products, not even products, but you're going to find a lot cooler items, gifts, things that you're never going to find in a retail store from a small business owner. And a lot of times, a small business can customize stuff for you. So I have friends who are jewelry makers. I have friends who are candle makers, and they'll customize stuff. Or if you're going to go get a service done, because something that we're going to do, I can't really announce it on here, but services make great gifts too. So if you know someone who rents a space, a hairdresser, an acupuncturist, someone who does facials, massage, but they're independent people, support them too, because they're going to help. It's going to help them do things that they love and provide services that we need.
Absolutely. And I would just add...
support painters.
Support
Support painters.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
This one is available.
Everybody. The link below.
They don't know.
Current,
I'm telling them.
eBay
Look at it.
auctions.
It's a snake with a butt and some thigh eyes. Come on. You can't really get any better.
These are some of the things I love.
These are some of my favorite things.
What I was going to say is on the entertainment side, support indie artists, independent filmmakers. People, I have bands on, as you know, all the time on the show, and everybody always asks me, where can I get their music? The first thing I tell them, at a show is great. There's always somebody's hot girlfriend at a merch table or boyfriend at a merch table. Yeah. If you can, buy direct from them. Because, when you buy something on spot, yes, it's convenient. And I'm not putting any of that down, any of these streaming sites or whatnot. But they take the majority hunk of the pie from the artist. And even buying at a show sometimes, usually it's the bigger artists who, they get charged a merch fee. And that's a new trend that has popped up and reared its ugly head.
It's like a booth rental.
Yeah.
It's like doing markets, as you're putting all of this money into your space, and you need to be able to offset those profits, which is rough. So again, if you have any local markets near you before the holiday, go to your local markets. Then you don't have to worry about shipping. You don't have to worry about if it's going to get there on time. It's already there, ready for you. It was usually, if it's like a farmer's market or an artisan market, it's handmade and it's coming to you from someone local. It has a better story.
Absolutely. And you just, one of these days we'll get the camera will be mobile and we'll show our house off and whatnot. We have a cool house in that we have worked real hard to acquire our collection of things we love. And
Yes.
it's
We have curated a space that really represents us and our loved ones.
Yeah, and it just gives us joy being in that space, as I'm sure all of you have out there as well. Whatever you dig, surround yourself with it. Don't. It's weird. You see, I hate going to somebody's house, even if it's real, whatever. I'm never impressed with somebody
when it's like sterile.
When it's sterile and it's just it looks like an IKEA showroom.
I love an IKEA showroom.
I do too, but I like a couple personal touches in there, so I know what the person a little bit more about the particular person.
Like a collection of some sort.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pinned insects in a frame thing. It's just
do not see me.
Well, if that's your thing, that's your thing.
It doesn't have to be snails all over the place.
No, but what I'm saying is nothing wrong with that.
I like snails.
Dani's obsessed with snails.
I'm obsessed. I collect them.
Hey, fun fact! I did not know this. I learned this from my lovely wife. The Buddha. You see all these Buddha statues. I thought he had curly hair. I'm like, I thought he went and got a hot dryer set and had super tight ringlets.
No.
Yes. I only know that, folks, because I've known one or two hairstylists in my day. Anyhow, those are snails on his head. Yeah.
So the story was that the Buddha was sitting outside. It was super, super hot, and he was getting a sunburn. And so all the snails came up, and they curled themselves up, and they went into their shells on his head to protect him from the sun so that he wouldn't get sunburned and he wouldn't get harmed.
How about that? I had no idea. I'd never heard that.
I could be missing pieces of that story, but that was the part of that story that I got from
yesterday.
My friends who are Buddhists.
When I made the joke about you with the salt, I asked her. I said she was doing something with some salt. I said, "What are you doing?"
Putting it on the potato.
Trying to sneak up on a bird and put it on its tail.
And I said, "I don't know what the heck you're talking about."
Yeah, she had no clue of that story.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it took me. That was a good 15-minute search on YouTube to find.
You did find it.
I did find it, but yeah.
It was not a German story.
No, it didn't.
Should have been. Could have ended poorly.
Nobody got their thumbs cut off with scissors or anything.
Nobody got eaten by a cat. Nobody got kidnapped and smacked with reeds. These were really disappointing ending. That whole story.
She met an elf and
she met an elf and she made a bird friend. And I was like, "This is stupid. I ain't here." Where's the terrible ending? Where's the disaster?
Says Miss Glunt. German, Italian, Irish. Ooh, baby. With some native attitude that's rubbed off on you a little bit, maybe.
She is spicy. She's a gremlin.
Anyway, folks, I just looked at the time. We've went our hour, over
We've
our
been
hour.
on so long.
So, anyway, what we promised everybody a show that we would do.
And here's a show.
Yeah, the last one was just hanging out, us. I'm sorry about the lack of structure. That's not what these shows are. We're just going to do a hangout show with you guys. Try to do it once a month.
This is our quality time.
It's our date for the evening.
Our date!
With you.
Thank you for joining us on our date. With you.
Anyhow, we're going to go...
There's a lot of people on this date.
That's okay. That's okay. We're not judging anybody.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, No, that's not our social scene usually, but anyway. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support of Danny's endeavors and mine as well. We really appreciate it. And just being cool, man. Just being cool. It's a weird world. There's weird stuff happening. Be cool. Be patient.
Kind.
Be kind. That's the big thing, In an unkind world, be a rebel, be kind. And, we're all in it together. And if we just remember that and do our best, we'll get through it. It'll be a better time. And yeah.
That was beautiful.
I'm just saying that, I don't know. It wasn't planned or not scripted or anything.
No, it was really nice. I think we need more of them.
I do as well. And it happens. Remember we were at the traffic light? This about a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God! Yeah. Did you not tell that story yet?
I think I might have on one of the shows, but maybe these folks don't know it. There was an older lady, and she was
stuck in the median at
Up here on Federal Highway.
Nobody knows where that is.
Well, it's a big road.
It's a big highway. Yeah.
Road.
It's like a big main road.
And it's over there by Aldi's. Okay. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway, the light is super short if you're going this way, and it's super long because that's the bulk of traffic is always this way.
Because it's coming from off a side street.
Right.
Yeah.
But that light is super short, and there was this elderly lady, and she had her cart or her whatever she was pushing there, and she could only make it halfway, and the light changed
she was stuck
on her.
In the median, yeah.
And so here's this elderly lady, and the cars are, and I'm like, oh, this won't do. And I asked Danny, I said, do I need to get out and help her get across the rest of the way?
And I said, just give it a second.
Just give it a second. And then this gal pulls up, in a Jeep or something, and some kind of SUV, and turns her hazards on, stops, and gets out. And you pointed out she had
the attitude was very much like a home health aide or a nurse.
Well, she was wearing scrubs, I believe, or maybe it was just a blue outfit. Yeah,
I don't know. But she got out and she spoke to the woman. She made sure that she was trying to cross the street and she wasn't just trying to chill in the median. And she helped her across the street. And we both thought out loud to each other. We were like, all faith in humanity is not lost. This is really good to see.
So shines a light in a weary world, ladies and gentlemen. And when you see that, it just, for me, and I'm sure for you as well, when you've been married, as long as we have, ladies and gentlemen, you really, your operating systems align and you know how the other person thinks. So I don't think I'm off base in that. It really made our day. Seeing just a simple act like that.
It's just nice to see good things coming from normal people. Normal people doing good things for people in their community or people in need. Just tiny glimpses of hope.
Yeah.
Are good to see. It's nice to see because it gives more hope.
Absolutely. And you're not going to see it on the news or any of that kind of nonsense or any of these, online BS things. It's good to see. Again, we're all in the same boat, so let's work on that. And I'm not saying it just because it's the holidays and whatnot. Just a good way to be. If everybody does that, if everybody puts their shopping cart back, we'll do just fine. One less thing.
Help someone if they need help.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It doesn't take that much time out of your life, and you're going to feel better afterwards for it.
Absolutely. And as Danny says, don't yuck someone's yum, man.
Don't make them feel bad about something they enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let them enjoy. If it's not hurting anyone or themselves, let them enjoy it. Absolutely. I don't eat eggs. I think they're disgusting. But if someone else wants to eat eggs, go for it.
Yeah,
Have at it. If it brings you joy, but whatever.
And we need more of that in the world on many levels.
Yes.
And
I will go with you to get your eggs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to eat them. But you can.
No, she won't.
I won't. More eggs for you. You're welcome.
You don't mind them if they're holding a good meatloaf together.
Or in a loaf of bread. We're here for it. In a cake? In a cake? Absolutely. Even in fried rice.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But it just,
that went way off.
It did. But, the long and the short, just don't be an a-hole, man. Just be cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, in a world that's unkind, just be a rebel. Yes. Be kind, you know?
And don't be selfish.
No.
Think about others.
Absolutely.
The betterment of others.
Of us all.
Yeah. There are times to be selfish and there are times to not.
Absolutely.
And in this climate,
we got enough people
being selfish.
Have the philosophy of me instead of we. See what I did there?
Are you throwing gang signs?
I'm throwing the gang sign of kindness. I worry. One of my idols. I'm going to end on this now, or at least say this. Everybody always talks about, especially as you get older, you get to a point where your idols and heroes pass on. They walk on.
Oh.
And everybody has different ones. Everybody has different ones. One of the people, and it happens when you get a little older too. You'll get a party or talking to somebody or something, and it'll come up. Who did you find it hard
when they passed?
When they walked on. For me personally, and everybody's different, and I'm not saying my experience is better or worse or anything like that, but for me personally, it was Spock when Leonard Nimoy passed. That was a hard one for me. But I always liked the Star Trek Spock philosophy. I don't know if it was the actor Leonard Nimoy's philosophy. It probably was. Maybe. I hope so. I'd like to think so. The needs of the many always outweigh the needs of the few. And that is a good philosophy.
You heard it here first.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it. That's a good way to end.
Yeah. So happy holidays to everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hanging out. We will see you next month. I'll see you before then.
I won't.
We are taking a break the week between Christmas and New Year's, the week of Christmas, I should say. We're taking a break on shows that week. I just had a whole bunch of orders roll in yesterday. And everybody's...
He's busy and we're grateful.
Yeah, I'm busy and we're grateful. I'm not complaining in the least. I never complain about having work. But anyway, I got to get these painted. I need the time. So we're not doing any shows.
We have things to do.
Yeah, we just do.
It's a holiday. We, as small business owners, we are allowed to take time for ourselves. Because I don't know how many of you viewers, listeners, whatever, have small businesses, work for yourself, work from home. But if you know that if you have your own business, you are working 15 times harder. You are constantly working. You're working in the middle of the night. You're working all the time. You never not work. So it is okay. This is also a good one. Ready? It is okay to take a break and to take time for yourself.
Absolutely.
Do not overwork yourself. You deserve to rest. So if you need to rest, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to take a rest after the holiday, a little bit before the holiday. We're going to get these orders out, and we're going to rest. We're going to spend time with loved ones. So be kind to yourself and others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for those contemplating starting a business,
good luck.
Good luck. Understand, know the lay of the land.
Yes, it's worth it.
It is worth it.
It is
if you're strong enough.
It is gratifying in many, many ways, but be prepared to put in the work.
Yeah, you'll.
Yeah, be prepared to put in the work.
There's no clock punching.
No, what is that?
There's.
Good luck getting paid.
Yeah, you just have to.
Are we holding accountable for that?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is when things happen too, you blame. There's no one else to blame when your name's on the door.
Your name is on the door.
Guess who it all falls on?
Spectral Moon.
Yeah,
it's us. We're Spectral Moon, not us. Me and my business partner. We are Spectral Moon. So
I know Travis hates being on camera during your guys' live streams.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I get to put him on the lives, and he's just like, and I'm like, hi. It's so great.
You're great at it.
I'm so happy.
But you're much more social, extroverted than I think he is. And socially,
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Like, Travis is cool. Like, Travis, I think the big thing is that, like, we both come from a service industry background.
Mm.
And, like, sometimes it's just, like, hard to put on that, like, service industry mask all the time. And sometimes you just want to, like, be behind the scenes a little bit. So he's so cool. He's the coolest guy. He's so kind. He's so knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's cool turned up to 10. I really like him.
But he is not me. And that's why we work so well together. Like, he balances my insanity. And I, like, kind of help him maybe get out of his comfort zone sometimes. So we make a good team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, folks, have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
This has been pop art painter Jamie Roxx's Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. It has been executive produced by Jamie Roxx, recorded at his studio in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. All rights reserved by Pop Roxx Limited.
Hannah Oli, Pop Roxx Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Roxx Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hicks från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Roxx Radio med Jamie Roxx.